Welcome to EDP 2002, Educational Psychology. Research shows persistent disparities in how students are perceived, disciplined, tracked, and supported, particularly along racial lines. These patterns reflect systemic issues, not individual intent. Again, these disparities are rooted in systems, a critical point emphasized by educational psychology research. Educational psychology is the study of how humans learn, grow, and develop in educational settings. It explores the cognitive and behavioral aspects of learning. Edward Thorndike is considered the father of educational psychology for applying scientific psychology principles to learning and education. Our first dirty secret is that teachers often see the same behavior differently. Studies show implicit bias leads to black children being perceived as older and more aggressive, while white children's misbehavior is often excused as, quote, having a bad day. This difference in perception is rooted in implicit bias, where the brain fills in gaps before the lesson even begins, impacting judgment and treatment of students. Benjamin Franklin said, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn." This highlights the power of active involvement in education. Educational psychology focuses on understanding motivation, cognition, behavior, and learning environments to optimize educational outcomes. Dirty secret number 2, discipline is psychological conditioning. Black students face earlier, more frequent, and harsher discipline for the same infractions. This repeated punishment leads to hypervigilance, disengagement, and learned helplessness. School discipline doesn't just correct behavior, it trains expectations. The psychological conditioning resulting from repeated harsh discipline is a serious concern. From Navy training to college, my own learning journey confirmed that active involvement is crucial for true retention and deep learning. The goals of educational psychology include improving learning outcomes and applying research-based teaching strategies effectively. We aim to enhance student performance and knowledge acquisition by utilizing proven methods and data for effective instruction. Dirty secret number 3, testing was never neutral. Early IQ and standardized tests favored white, middle-class norms. These tests often measure cultural familiarity and test-taking comfort more than innate intelligence. Remember, standardized doesn't mean unbiased. The controversy surrounding standardized tests is that they often reflect language exposure, cultural familiarity, and test-taking comfort, rather than a neutral assessment of ability. A key goal of educational psychology is to understand individual differences in learners to provide equitable and effective education for everyone. Dirty secret number 4, tracking is modern segregation. Ability grouping leads to black and brown students being overrepresented in remedial tracks and underrepresented in gifted programs. This tracking narrows self-concept and sets early ceilings. Once placed, few students ever move up. The reality of tracking causes psychological damage, shrinking a student's self-concept and setting limitations on their expectations for the future. Nelson Mandela reminds us that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. My journey highlights the power of self-education and persistence, whether in academics, fitness, or personal growth. This video reinforces the central message that systemic disparities exist within education. We are encouraged to look beyond individual actions toward systemic solutions. Educational psychology provides the tools to analyze these complex issues. It offers frameworks for creating more equitable learning environments for all students. Dirty secret number 5, black children are adultified. Research shows they are perceived as less innocent, more responsible for their actions, and less in need of protection, especially black boys. This results in less grace, patience, and emotional safety. The adultification of black children denies them the emotional support and protection that is often afforded to their peers. This psychological impact contributes to an inequitable and often harsh educational experience. Understanding these biases is the first step toward dismantling them. Educational psychology seeks to address these deep-seated systemic problems. It emphasizes the importance of developing culturally responsive teaching practices. These practices must acknowledge and value the diverse backgrounds of all learners. Ultimately, the goal is to foster an environment where every student can thrive. This requires continuous self-reflection and professional development for educators. We must commit to learning and implementing anti-bias strategies in schools. Educational research provides the evidence base for these essential changes. By applying psychological principles, we can improve equity and outcomes. We must challenge the status quo and ensure educational justice. This ongoing effort benefits not just marginalized students, but the entire educational community. Thank you for engaging with these critical aspects of educational psychology. Let's work together to create educational systems that truly support every learner. Welcome to EDP 2002, Educational Psychology. This video examines disparities in how students are perceived, disciplined, and supported, emphasizing systemic rather than individual intent. The video highlights the foundational role of educational psychology in understanding these systemic issues. Educational psychology studies how individuals learn and grow within educational settings. It explores the cognitive, behavioral, and emotional aspects of learning.